In this video, I'll cover 10 tips that every Unreal Engine developer should know. So first up, if you come up here to Edit, and if you go to Editor Preferences, and then the Viewports, this is where you can actually find your navigation settings, such as like your mouse sensitivity, your scroll speed, etc. From here, you can also actually adjust your snap sizes as well. So if I select an object here, as you can see, if I put this back to the default of 10, I can move this around with relatively ease. But if I continue to increase the snap size to say, let's do 100, it increases a little bit more. And then if I drop this up to like, say 1,000, the snap size itself is adjusted and continues to go on. So that's kind of a neat little feature if you're building things. Another thing you can do as well is if we come back down here to our folders, you can actually change the color of your folder by right-clicking it and then just kind of mixing around with whatever you want to use. Like, let's go with pink here because pink's awesome. Breast cancer awareness, woo-woo. This is a great way to keep your folders organized, as well as a way to kind of keep everything a little bit more fresh and alive instead of like the gray default settings. Another really cool thing you can do too is in the search content bar, if you just do type and then space enter and whatever you want to search, like let's say we want to search for sound assets only. If you do sound, it will bring up the sound assets only. If I just wanted to look for mesh assets, if I to type equal mesh, it will only bring in the mesh assets. So that's kind of a really great way to filter things out if you are looking for something specific. Another great tip, right up here where this arrow is located, you can actually create a high resolution screenshot, which you can use for promoting your game, thumbnails, etc. Really great tool without having to use something like Snippet or like a third-party program. Another thing you can do too is if I come into third-person blueprint real quick, and I just get rid of this, what you can actually do is you can actually highlight a section of code and right-click on it. And from there, you can actually create a comment section. And this is really great to allow you to kind of keep your code organized and to be able to come back and know like what is doing what within your code. So for example, this is where like the jump is located in the template, the mouse input, and etc. Another thing you can do too is under the settings tab, you can go to engine scalability settings. And this is a great way to adjust the settings for your engine and for your game.
Write that down, write that down!
Another thing you can do too is if we come back into the blueprint where we were before, you can actually create reroute notes. As you can see here, our lines are just kind of all over the place. If you actually double click, you can create a button here, or not button, but a Reroute node, and you can actually adjust this to allow to get like different curves so everything is not being jumbled. And so you can, if you have something like grouped together like this and it's just really hard to see what's connecting to what, that's a great way to kind of separate things and make it a little bit more fresh.
Is this organic?
Lastly, if we exit out of this, you can actually adjust, instead of like coming down here into the settings like your scale and your rotation of a specific object, you can actually use the shortcut keys such as R, which is like the scalability. You can use E, which like adjusts the rotation of the object, and like W to actually do like the location. So W, E, and R are really great shortcut keys instead of like having to come up here like down and like adjusting like individually. The only reason I do this is because I'm a perfectionist and I like to get everything kind of exact. So if you see that in my tutorials, I am sorry. And another great thing to do too, and I think this is actually number 10, is you can actually filter within your content folder. So if you were using someone else's project, or you know you're just using you, if you wanted to look for blueprint classes only, you can check that and it will bring in the only things that are going to be related to the blueprint class. Or if you wanted to search for like FX and emitters only, you know, because we have both the blueprint class and the emitter selected, it's going to be bringing those in. But if you just want to like deselect it or like focus on a specific thing, you can just highlight it and select it, but we don't have any, and we can deselect that and bring that in, and we can bring the other one in. So yeah, you can adjust those accordingly, whatever you're searching for. And yeah, so those are 10 great useful tips to help you with your game development.
I'm out of here.